Good morning, this is Cecil in Blues. Thank you for joining me for this Final Fantasy XIV video. Patch 4.01 went live on July 4th, adding normal difficulty for the first wing of the Omega Raid series, the Deltascape. You must have an average item level of 295 to queue for these encounters. Rewards in the Deltascape will be structured like they were in the Alexander Raid series. Each boss will drop an assortment of tokens. You can collect one token per week from each encounter. Tokens are then traded to a vendor in Rhalgr's Reach for gear. Additionally, the fourth encounter in this series will also award a weekly guaranteed drop that can be used in conjunction with Tomestones of Creation to purchase weapons for this Tomestone tier. Further details on the exact cost will be made available when Tomestones of Creation unlock in 2 weeks. There have been a few changes made to job actions, mostly for tanks. For Paladins, Savage Blade and Flash have had their Enmity effect increased. For Warriors, Heavy Swing has had its TP cost reduced from 70 to 60, and Skull Sunder and Overpower have had their Enmity effect increased. For Dark Knights, Unleash has had its Enmity effect increased as well as Spinning Slash, and the ability Blood Spiller has had its potency and its Dark Arts potency increased by 20. The ninja action Bhavacakra... Well, no, this can't be a word. This is just a bunch of random letters, right? Bhavacakra? It's had its potency increased from 550 to 600. The Bard's ability Troubadour now affects both the Bard and nearby party members. There are additional adjustments planned for the battle system for patch 4.05, which I believe is the release of the Savage mode, so please look forward to it in 2 weeks. With the addition of this new raid, the average item level required to use the Duty Roulette Mentor has been raised to item level 295. The experience earned through PvP will now fluctuate based on match duration and whether your team won or lost the match. As a personal note, while I agree with the match duration penalties, I feel that win-loss conditionals will lead to increased toxicity amongst the community, and as a result, I'm not really in support of it. Moving on to the next note, new items can now be obtained from the silver-trimmed sacks, which are awarded from the Accursed Horde found in levels 50 through 100 in the Palace of the Dead. In the Vegas Patch Notes category, we have 3 nominees. The strength of certain open-world enemies has been adjusted, the location and behavior of certain enemies has been adjusted, and the names of certain enemies has been changed. It's a tight category. We'll have to wait to see what the Academy says. Moving on, yellow crafting scripts and yellow gathering scripts are now unlocked, and new crafting and gathering gear will be available. I'll post up a separate video later on in the day covering yellow scripts once I've had a chance to investigate the system a little bit more fully in-game. And what's this? I've just been handed a late entry in the Vegas Patch Note category. Attributes have been adjusted for certain gear. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner. Moving on, new mounts and minions have been added. The only one that was pictured in the patch notes is the older model Magitech armor. Hopefully that'll be able to fly and swim. Maybe it'll turn into a cool submarine. We'll see. Anyway, in the System Changes section of the notes, there is a very important note for PS4 players. Increased font sizes have been added for the chat prompt. This can be found under the General tab in Character Configuration. I remember this being a fairly big issue for PS4 players. Under the Log Details tab, you can also select larger font sizes for the chat log. This second option is available for the PC client as well. Additional options were also added to the system configuration for user interface size, allowing players to restore the UI to what they were familiar with in patch 3.57. This is a change for the PS4 client. There's a detailed tutorial in the patch notes, so if this is something that interests you, make sure to check that out. There is a video or a link to the full patch notes in the video description below. The key binding for Flight, Diving, Descend will be automatically set to control space unless you have already set that key combination to a different action. The patch notes conclude with a series of bug fixes. These mostly addressed questing and fate bugs found during the leveling process in Stormblood, but also included some bugs related to incorrect tooltips showing for a few abilities, and they also fixed bugs for Bard's Battle Voice and Scholar's Fey Union. If you'd like to see a detailed list of the bug fixes, as said before, I've put a link to the full patch notes in the video description, and it's getting a little bit late, and so I'm losing my train of thought. Let's wrap up the video. Thank you for stopping by for this patch note summary. I'm going to take a nap, and that way I can check out Omega when the servers come back in a couple of hours. I will have videos on the channel later in the day covering both Omega and Yellow Scripts in more detail. You can follow the channel to be notified when new videos are posted, and you can follow me on Twitter at itsboats for other stuff. Mostly actually video postings, but sometimes I say something. It's usually pretty salty, so maybe don't follow me on Twitter. Wow, what terrible advice. I'm really tired. Have a great day.